right, but let's get into you. Let's tell the audience what's going on. How did you start? Content creating, all this stuff, getting into this space. How did you start that? Actually, let's start even more before that. Introduce yourself. What do you do?
My name is Corey, and I twerk on the weekends. And now my name is Gabe. I got a YouTube channel called Smile Bomb, which is after the Yu Yu Hakusho song. And how I got into content creation was the question. I just kind of just like making random things. But I saw like in the anime space there was people just do basic talk to the camera type videos, and I'm like, there's a bunch of that. So I started doing group videos, and that's just like something that wasn't really tapped into, and it's really hard to do because people have schedules, time, kids, whatever. There's a million reasons why you can't get people together, but when you do, it's always special. So I started doing that kind of stuff, but I've always made like things over the course of the last like 10 years, and right now, like I've literally made videos of me sitting on my toilet, just like talking trash about Harry Potter, and it gets like 1 million views. So it's like, just saying straight up, like what we all need is sitting on the toilet.
Did you watch it, read it, or both?
What? Harry Potter?
If you're talking shit about it,
watch, baby. Watch.
You didn't read that one.
I read the first one. I said, we don't need no more. We don't need no more. There's movies coming out.
Wait, you also hate the books?
I don't hate the books.
Are amazing.
I agree with him. I read the first one, and I'm like, I don't like it.
It's an epic. Why even read it when you can see it happen?
But there's more to the story.
Oh yeah, there's so many little details, and that's why they're doing the reboot of in the show format. Listen, the only show I've cared to read after watching it was Game of Thrones because as it's really called, A Song of Fire and Ice.
Well, you're stuck on Winds in Winter for the last like 10 years.
That's
buddy.
fine.
And there are no plans to do the next one.
When you get it.
But he's not doing it. He's really writing other books.
No, he's doing it.
All right,
I'm telling you, it's just like he wants to make you wait so much that you just
coming from the guy who didn't want to wait for 30-minute thing.
Yeah, but I had to see it. My heart's already occupied by that, so I can't wait for anything else.
That man's about to die.
You know?
He's doing side stories.
It's ready to go. It's ready to go.
I really don't think
it's just a lot. They're actually editing it. Apparently, they're editing it.
The book?
There's just a lot to cut out. Like, there's just a lot. He fills up the books with fat. It's like you gotta know about the tabard's emblem in the corner.
He wants all of it. He's like, I want all the details.
I want everything. Tell me what he was wearing.
Well, that's why they have the encyclopedia, so he could put all the fat in that.
That's true.
But so just made videos like that, and whether it be like random stuff on the toilet, pissing people off, talking about some random anime takes, or just making like fun videos. That's just kind of how I got my start in content creation. I just do it for fun. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
That's the way of life.
Yeah.
So you named your channel after the Yu Yu Hakusho intro, so I'm assuming you're a fan.
Of course. Who wouldn't be a fan?
I've actually never seen it.
Yeah.
This is telling me everything I need to know.
You still got time to watch it.
Does
you
really,
finished Cowboy Bebop, so honestly, you should pick up Yu Yu Hakusho.
The problem is that she might not enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a little old.
It's a lot of my
It's
friends,
older than Cowboy Bebop, right?
It's a lot of my
so?
friends' favorites. So I feel like it's worth checking out. How long is it?
126-ish.
That's how long it is?
It's 4 seasons. Each season is about 45 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's on 100 some
episodes.
episodes.
It was like 80 episodes.
Because you saw when you were a kid.
And
I rewatched it recently.
Oh, recently?
Like in the past,
wow.
6 years, I rewatched it.
I mean, having childlike eyes watching a show for the first time will make anything seem like it's the greatest thing since sliced cheese. So
yeah,
and like, I don't go back and watch certain shows because I don't want to taint my memory. But Yu Yu Hakusho is really good. Yeah, no, I just typed in Smile Bomb and I got it.
Oh, it's 112 episodes.
112. Okay, so all right. And yeah, I just put that in because I was like, I always like the name of that song and everything. So
going off of that, what's your top 3 anime of all time?
Okay, well, we're really getting into the most important part. Top 3 anime of all time.
To you,
Boku no Pico, My Life is Inakai's Dog, Overflow Season 4.
Hold on, Boku no Pico. That sounds familiar.
No.
Why?
No.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up, bro. Don't
Look it up,
bro.
buddy.
I think it's a controversial thing.
No, it's the greatest anime
Stop.
ever.
Do not look
It's the greatest
it up,
anime
guys.
ever.
Don't look it up.
If I mean top 3 anime. I'm gonna have to think about this
Top
for a
3
second.
of your favorite, not anime. Your favorite.
I mean, my favorite is the best. Period. So it's not
So
even.
what is it?
It's just you gotta have JoJo's in there.
Okay.
You gotta have JoJo's. It's essential. It's essential.
Hakusho, JoJo's.
I actually wouldn't put Yu
Wait,
Hakusho in
Hakusho,
there. I wouldn't put it in the top 3. I wouldn't put it in the top 3.
Oh.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's
Okay.
gotta be in there. It's gotta be in there. And the third one, this is just because you gotta have it. You gotta need it and you gotta want it.
Wow, One Piece.
No, hell no.
It's definitely not for him. Not for him,
It's
bro.
Naruto, bro. That's my favorite.
I had a feeling.
I would never put One Piece in my top.
No.
No?
You haven't seen him with
He's
the
stuck in-
sign,
he's stuck in
One
Dress
Piece
Rosa.
No, I'm
man.
yeah, and I'm done. At that point, I'm finished.
Oh, you got to Dressrosa?
And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I've seen like these types of things in this show and different shows, and like it doesn't do it for me like other people.
Do you think it's because of the anime and how it's animated, or you just think it's the story overall? Like even if you read it,
that the story, even if I read it, I mean, I already know all the fucking plot points. The only thing that's different is the goddamn filler in it that they put in there. And wait, before you say there's no filler, stretching out an episode, stretching out content to only get a one chapter to one episode adaptation is adding filler.
okay.
It's period. It's not canon moments.
So
it's
now
semi-canon.
you need to make up your mind because I asked you about the story.
Yeah.
You keep talking about the
Now
animated
the
adaptation.
story itself, no, I don't think it's that good.
Okay.
I think it's got really good high points that are amazing, like Marineford, high note, Alabasta, high note,
Water 7.
Water 7, high note. I Water 7, Ennis Lobby, all that together, high note. Impel Down, high note. I think that the other things are they're cool, but they're not as good.
Would you say that Naruto for you being in the top 3 is like a nostalgia thing, or you truly believe
I
that the
think
story
I think
throughout
that
start to
Naruto in the
finish-
first, starting with just even the first original series of Naruto, in the first 120 episodes, has a more succinct and complete story in that first big arc.
100%.
Period. From the beginning, like you have something to follow. There's a bunch of cool characters. There's not a lot of just waiting around. A lot of waiting around happens after you find out Sasuke's running away, right? So like a lot of things are like, okay, cool. You get some callbacks to the beginning, like you find out about Itachi, all that stuff later in the show, and we get to Shippuden, and of course Shippuden is very controversial. People just because like, okay, bro, like what are we doing? Who's Sai? Like why do we care about Sai? Some side characters aren't even that interesting anymore.
You gave up on the side characters, which is a big disappointment.
But the show is called Naruto. It's not called One Piece, right? One Piece, you can do that.
Yeah.
And the show's not based on just Luffy. It's just like everything else. But I think that Naruto, for me, there's better character development up until Shippuden with certain side characters that don't matter anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up.
So half the series. Half the series is good, and then
no, because like
half the series is good. The other half is
what don't you
caca.
like in Shippuden?
The one thing I don't like in Shippuden number 1 is the fact that most of it is spent him going after Sasuke, where he
And most of One Piece is Luffy running around from island to island.
Yeah, but in each one he has
Finding
a different
his
goal.
One Piece.
Finding his One Piece.
Sasuke's his One Piece.
No, Naruto's One Piece
Sasuke's
is
his
being the Hokage. It's not trying to make up with Sasuke.
No. Naruto's One Piece is not being the Hokage. Naruto's One Piece was being accepted. The Hokage was just his physical way of conceptualizing
Very
it.
similar
But he
to-
realized that it didn't even matter about being Hokage.
Damn, then he should have given up being Hokage because
I mean, they voted him in.
some
They
people
were like,
saying
you
he's a
gotta.
deadbeat dad right now with what he's doing in Boruto.
I mean, he's taking care of an entire country. Technically, the
It's
entire
not a
continent.
country; it's a city.
Definitely not a
Because
country.
there are people.
The country, the
there are-
land of fire.
there are
What are you
people
talking
Just
about?
above
the
him.
It's a land.
It's
Bro,
the
he's the
village
Hokage.
and
He's
the
not the
land
leader
fire.
of the land of fire.
Does the government not have checks and
politicians.
balances? Is it not a Supreme Court?
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
the president just do whatever he wants?
But one
No.
thing with Naruto is that it doesn't explain
gotta
anything
keep people in
else
check
about the
sometimes.
world. So
Well,
you don't even know anything.
What was the pit that you started?
Well, I'm saying the one thing with Naruto that disappoints me the most is that I don't know anything about the world itself. It just does a horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't spend that much time fleshing out like
Yeah.
every single village.
but it started to, which is disappointing. Like, just don't do it. I'd rather you just don't do it at all.
Yeah, but, like,
than
in
to start to roll the ball out that we're gonna go to other places and learn about these cultures and other parts of it.
But in terms of like the major key plot points, that's like that's not necessary to spend that time doing that. You just want to have it because it'd be nice. It's not necessary for the story of Naruto to sit there and be like, I gotta know everything about the making of the village children and the cloud.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to do all that.
Okay, so considering you're so passionate about what you know, what got you into like watching anime and anime spaces?
Oh, that was just on TV, and it was just like I'm gonna watch
Cartoon
that.
Network?
Yeah, there was just it's just like
we're
it was
all
on-
living the same
It
backstory.
was
at
it
this
was
point.
on TV. It's like, oh, this is cool. Somebody's yelling and
No one's put
punching.
it
Like
like
I'm gonna
that.
watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like okay, cool. Like just like with any show or anything. Like oh, I would watch
So
that.
was Naruto your first?
Well, my first anime now it's Dragon Ball Z.
Ah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's the
Classic.
number one.
Anybody whose first anime is like Naruto is significantly younger than us. Like, there's no way that Naruto can really be your first, unless you just got into anime.
Yeah, in general.
I mean, Naruto technically could be your first if you just because for 25 years Naruto was the most popular anime. Period. It was
25?
for
That's
25. It was the
very
most
long
searched
time.
anime. It was the number one anime when Bleach and One Piece and Naruto were both airing at the same
Yeah,
time.
no. There's no
It
doubt
took
about that.
it took Naruto and Bleach ending. Bleach was going to get its respective reserved. It took Naruto ending for One Piece to get as much attention as it did because everybody was
In the
watching
US.
Naruto.
In the US. In the US.
U.S., Europe, Like Japan, One Piece was big really only in Japan.
Yeah.
And then it hit a point where it left Japan. Everybody was like, oh, wow, this is great. But Naruto dominated
100%.
everything across the
I was
world.
there.
Naruto.
I was there. I have a mug. I was there.
Yeah, you got the
It's his
thing.
all-time favorite.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, for me, Naruto was like kind of like that first love. You know, I said it when we were recording the other day, but Dragon Ball, first crush. Naruto's first love. One Piece, that's like my true love. It gives me everything Naruto, because I started One Piece way after the fact of Naruto. I got into Naruto when I was still like in high school, I believe. Like I was still like maybe 14, 15, but I got into One Piece in 2018. It was already in the 800, so I just like did a binge. It gave me everything Naruto gave me and more. And
nah, that's crazy. Because like One Piece the thing it does is that yes, it has the world building, right? I put that right there. It's a really big Olympic sized pool, but it's only 4 foot deep.
that's not
Like
true.
yes, it is. Like you go first of
You can't say
the
if you
first
haven't watched.
5. I literally watched.
No,
You
he
can
got
say
to-
that.
Watch it all.
No, he got
I've
to
watched,
700.
I'm literally up 780. I've watched enough
just
to be
stopped.
like, because I'm like, I'm good.
Okay.
Like I'll wait for this to wrap up to watch this. This isn't much.
Okay.
This isn't much CTV for me.
Oh, so you'll come back to it at some point.
When they get to the Great Pirate War, they copied from Naruto.
Well, Naruto copied that from like everybody's copying it from everybody.
Yeah, but ain't no one did it like Naruto. But
Bro,
You mean they failed?
They
Marineford
do it.
was
Bro, you
better
have
than the
one
Great
moment.
You mean they
War.
failed?
Oh yeah, watching Luffy get knocked down a couple flights of stairs over and over again was better than Ninja War.
Yes, 100%.
You're
I
bugging.
will wholeheartedly
You're
say
bugging.
that.
You're
Bro, they should
like-
brought
You don't
back
think
a
the-
bunch
you're
of dead
capping
bodies.
right
Do you
now.
think if you think the Great Ninja War is better than the Paramount War? Then
I think the Great Ninja War is fire. The only reason why people shit on it is because of Kaguya. You can't say it's whack. You were hyped the minute that shit kicked off.
Bro,
the
it
minute
was
Madara touched the
dragging,
screen,
my
you were
nigga.
like,
we were
ooh. You watched One Piece. It's been dragging for 20 years.
Bro, they were fighting a bunch of
How
fodder.
long were they in Wano?
They were fighting
How long
fodder
were they in Wano? 5
for
years?
4 years.
For 4 years.
4 years.
For Wano.
180
Dude, Wano was fire.
chapters.
Wano was fire.
Same, bro.
What was the highlight of the Great Ninja War?
Bro, when
I can think of
Madara pulled up,
That's not even halfway. That's like all the way at the
That's-
end.
no,
That's the
no.
end of it.
No, he's
No, it's
talking
not.
about when
When he
Madara
pulled the
fought
first
all
time.
the fodder.
popped out and he said, "Yo, let me just flex on you what ninjutsu's all about. Let me show you the hands I got," and cooked everybody. Then you had the 5 Kage
That was
versus
fun.
him. Technically, the war technically started with Sasuke attacked the 5 Kage Summit. If we're being real here,
Okay.
all right. But that was fire, right? Then we get to when they actually start bringing all the Edo Tenseis back. You're like, oh hell no! Everybody's getting in the mix.
So
You got
rushed.
Itachi
It
doing.
was so
How is
rushed.
it rushed?
The only one that they took their time with was when Sasuke and Itachi versed.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that guy?
Kabuto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't even an Edo
I don't even
Tensei
know
guy.
why they even did the Asuma thing. It wasn't even that. Like a lot of it, they just didn't spend the time. I would have preferred if Naruto was a little longer. That's really my issue, and just did more with it. Like,
I agree.
The Edo Tensei things, like I'm not complaining about something being long, my nigga. Like get over it, grow the fuck up. If you can't deal with something lasting longer, then like you just childish. Like I would want more than getting Boruto.
I think
than
that's
getting Boruto. I would have rather him spent more time, granted, for health versus
I agree.
reasons. Like if
Yeah.
he would have been okay, like God willing, because like I don't want anybody to die to make more manga. It's not that fucking deep. It's just anime. But like
I don't know.
would rather
You
him
got really
taking more
passionate right
time
now.
during. I would rather somebody take more time during that war than to give me Boruto, because now I got Boruto and I don't want to be bothered. Like I don't care how good anybody tells me it got after like knowing that it was shitty for something that I loved for so long. I'm good. I'm good. Just take more time and let it be what it is.
I mean, to say that, right, is insane to me, because you're gonna be like, oh, One Piece was not good off rip. It took a while for One Piece to get good.
I don't think One Piece was good off rip.
Bro, Captain Kuro is not fire. Don't tell me that. Is Captain
Did
Kuro
you-
really
are
that
you-
fire?
Are you just talking? You're not
No,
listening?
I'm
I
being
said
obs-
I don't think One Piece
Oh, yeah,
was good.
Okay, I missed that part.
Off
Though.
rip. I did not think One Piece was great
Mm-hmm.
until 220 episodes in, and that's me being fully
Okay.
honest. I can go back in retrospect, being caught up, and appreciate it because it gives me kind of a sense of nostalgia, and it is an easy watch once you really know the world that I enjoy on a rewatch now, because I can kind of see some of the
Because you know the later context, what that's gonna
I have all
matter.
the context. So like it gives me a better appreciation. But during it, I was really only pushing through because I was like, I know that most manga doesn't get to last long if it's mediocre, like for this long. Case Closed is not a through line story. Doraemon, all those other shows, Lupin, like anything that's like serialized like The Simpsons in the manga world, that don't count. This, I'm like, bro, this is still going. It must be actually some type of good. If it must be at least worse mid, at worst mid.
So you can't let Boruto cook?
No.
Can't let it cook a little bit.
No.
Can't let it just like warm up to when he gets his power spike.
Why? Because we didn't need it.
I mean, I didn't watch. I don't really
Who
care.
asked for it? Who wanted? Who really wanted?
There were some people who wanted it. Naruto ends on a note that you don't have to keep watching. You just choose to keep watching. You don't have to watch past that.
And I stopped.
Are you caught up on Boruto?
No, because I ended my tenure at Naruto. Because you don't have to continue watching.
You're right.
It's a choice to continue.
You're right.
He made it so that you can keep on going with the world you want. Because he wasn't gonna write Boruto. Remember, he got brought in because the writer they gave to Boruto to start it up was trash. It's not his fault. They decided.
I'm not blaming him.
So don't ever shit on Kishimoto. Because if he would have started writing Boruto from the day one,
he did supervise it though.
I don't
supervising, but his hands is not there.
It's not the same.
Right.
His hands are not.
How many of us gotta supervise that?
Yeah,
work?
now guess what? Apparently it's fire.
It is.
Exactly.
Yo, the fact that you wrote the supervisor thing, like all of our supervisors be really supervising, is crazy.
I don't know. He was supervising the show while he was writing his other series.
You live,
really.
you live in the real world. Everybody supervisor be supervising.
Not everybody's, but if that's your baby, if that's a global phenomenon like Naruto, you're going to be paying attention to it.
Just before we wrap up the One Piece Glaze Fest, I just had it here for the last 10 minutes.
It was not.
I just wanted to say, when you went on your impassioned speech about like it's too long, you got to grow up and being a kid. Saying something is too long does not mean you're childish. You're just like, this is not worth my time to watch. So you can't just say somebody, you just need to grow up and just deal with it. If I feel like I'm watching something, I'm like, this is not worth the commitment I have to put to watch it. That's not being childish. Just like, hey, it's not for you, which is what I said in the beginning. It's not for me.
Okay.
And it's not a matter of you just have to just, oh, it's long. Oh, no, just don't be a kid about it. That's being a kid about it, doing that. It's just like, it's just not for you. You sat through 300 and eventually it caught on. It hit your heart.
Yeah.
Right? And I've had some of those moments in One Piece. I'm like, oh, this is great. I like this right here. But then there's like a lot of Bellamy just jumping off walls. Ooh, what's going on?
Yes.
Nah, bro. That was
And there's a lot of just staring.
And then to that,
that affects the story.
But to that,
Did you watch it or read it?
He's talking about watching it.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
See, watching is a different
So
experience.
that's why we keep trying to
But the thing that people are so impassioned about is the anime, because no one sits there and says that One Piece is not a goated manga. Everybody says One Piece is a goated manga, right? But the thing that we argue about is not the manga, it is always the anime.
So how about we have a conversation with us and not the other people, and the story itself, if it was the manga, because he'll never tell anybody watch the anime.
Bro, Fishman Island is trash.
That's
Punk Hazard is trash.
No.
Punk Hazard is trash.
Let me say this real quick. I think for a lot of series, they'll start off at a certain point where like groups have already gotten together, and like you'll wish, oh man, I really wish to see like how the group came together, what their backstories are, and everything. And I feel like that maybe, like you said, 200 something is when One Piece got great for you. Maybe in some other mediums, yeah, that's where the story could have started. But One Piece came during a time where things were a lot slower. You could really take your time because things were weekly. They weren't seasonal. And now when you say, yeah, it's not worth my time, if you didn't have a lot of other options to watch, yeah, it would have been worth your time. But now with so many other animes out, yeah, it might not be worth your time.
Now you do have a lot of options.
Like you could start One Piece at a certain point in the 200s and you don't need to know anything that happened in the East Blue Arc. But that's there because you could watch it. What do you need to know in the East Blue Arc before you got to the Grand Line? You don't need to know how the crew got
together, bro.
You don't need to know that,
bro. You got to know that.
How many heist movies do you watch? And I'm just using heist movies as an example where like the crew is already there and the crew already knows each other. They just got to get together to pull off the job. You don't need to know that
because One Piece does a lot of callbacks, which is the thing that everybody claims it about, is that the universe infinitely expands and it constricts. Then it infinitely expands again, then it constricts again to bring back to those callback moments that you have to see in episode 100, episode 200, episode 300, episode 400. Like, Punk Hazard is whack. But the only reason why you say it's good, the only reason you say, it's good, because what it means later in the story. But the arc itself is boring.
It's comedy. It's gold.
All right, so what about
gold.
for now? Considering, times have changed, way more anime. What are you currently watching? Your top 3 right now?
Frieren. Watch Frieren.
Fuck yeah.
That's an amazing story. And it's slow. Very slow.
Which is surprising. I usually don't like slow anime.
It's because it's when you let that cook a little bit, little 10 episode
It
cook.
was good.
Right when she says kill yourself, you're like, damn, this shit is golden. It says it in the anime. That's like, you won't know what it is, not a spoiler. You'll see it when it happens. You'll be like, what the hell?
So you've read Frieren.
No, I watch Frieren. I don't really read manga.
So you don't read manga at all?
I don't read manga. No, the only manga
so you're never talking about any series in the context of a manga?
I don't, because at the end of the day, it's like I've like looking at the only things that made me read them are Chainsaw Man, because I'm like, I'm not waiting to see this animated.
You poor man.
I'm not waiting to see this anime. And I read all the way up until the end of the first entire arc.
Oh, okay, you didn't
and
watch part
cried
2?
my ass off.
Yeah.
I cried my ass. I was like, holy crap, this is
So you didn't
good.
start part 2?
I didn't start part 2.
so
I
you're
said,
fine, you're
I close the book. You don't got to keep going. You just got to know when to close the book. You just got things don't get ruined if you just know. I'm not going to do that. Attack on Titan, because I was sick and tired of them we're doing 5 or 6.
It was basically Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it was Kingdom Hearts, bro, over and over again. Next season part 1, next season part 2, next season part 5. And then I read Jujutsu Kaisen begrudgingly, and I don't recommend anybody read Jujutsu Kaisen because the manga is bad in terms of not
no.
how they execute it. How they execute
cook.
You cannot. Jujutsu Kaisen is literally hands the anime, and there's so many things happening in Jujutsu Kaisen art style wise, and the art gets really lazy at some point. You're like, what the hell is happening? And then he's writing like an entire thesis on what somebody's abilities. You're like, what does this ability do? Like, so anime is definitely the way to consume Jujutsu Kaisen. But this past summer, we dealt with a lot of spoilers because the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom is worse than the One Piece fandom.
Yes.
And they decided to spoil everything. So the minute I saw something, it said hashtag Gojo, I said, nah, I'm reading.
Nope.
I said, I'm reading. I saw the engagement. I said, nah, I got to read.
That's what I had to do.
I gotta read. This is
I
crazy.
got spoiled all the way.
You wasn't even happy about it.
I wasn't.
I had to read out of spite.
Me too.
Because I didn't want to get spoiled. I didn't want, and then I'm right where that left off. I haven't continued. I'm like, all right, everybody's done now talking about it, so now I can let it.
Okay.
So I don't know anything past the thing that was viral last summer on that was like.
Oh, so you just stopped. Oh, you stopped it.
I stopped.
So you don't
right
know the
there.
ending.
I don't know the ending
Oh.
because people stopped talking about it. Because they're also the reason why people were posting about Jujutsu Kaisen so much is because Gojo has like one of the biggest fandoms ever. So people were just like Gojo every 2 seconds. So like that's why that blew up. But like after that, like it kind of like died out in terms of like things being spoiled.
Okay.
Nobody's talking about it now.
And I
What's the last thing you saw?
Last thing I saw was it's funny. Last anime show I saw was Fearin'.
Oh no, I was talking about in JJK.
Oh, JJK. Oh, last thing I saw in the manga. Do you want me to spoil people? Do they care about
Spoiler
this?
alert.
Spoiler alert. Gojo dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last thing I saw.
And then
Okay.
you just said,
Yeah, and I said,
So you haven't seen anything? Oh, I can't wait to see.
I
your
said
reaction.
I could just wait. Let's put that. And
Well, it's all done now, so now you can.
Yep. Now I can just chill. It's gonna get animated. No one's talking about it, and I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah.
We're gonna
just wait
see
for it
that
to come
Gojo
out.
dying in like 5-6 years.
Nah, they're gonna change it.
They're gonna change it.
They're gonna change it. Watch.
Interesting.
They're gonna change it.
You're right. He does have one of the biggest fandoms.
He wrote it like this. So you could be
Yo.
like, this is not it's an alternate ending.
The copium is real here.
I mean,
Yo,
Danny wants a JJK
Full Metal
part 2.
Brotherhood.
ooh,
We can
that's
we
true.
could get a remix.
I highly doubt
Yeah.
it. But
I mean, people thought that was gonna happen with Attack on Titan. That didn't happen.
all right. So
But the
what you
movie.
said, free run. What else?
And then I recently went back because I brought this movie back into theaters personally
Oh my
myself.
god, I saw this clip. It was
What?
you and Chili talking about
So
this shit, right?
so me and Chili Rex, he interviewed me at New York City Comic Con. He asked me what is my most slept on anime,
Okay.
and I told him about a movie that is a fever dream for a lot of people called Metropolis, and it is a
Not Megalopolis.
not Megalopolis,
okay.
Metropolis.
Okay.
And it is a movie that has the best bits of Astral World and Akira and everything mixing together. Astral Boy, everything mixing together. And I remember watching when I was a kid and I was crying and I was just like, damn, this movie's so good. It was like 3 a.m. on Adult Swim and I was like, what the hell? And I never, at the time, it wasn't easy to find things, right? So
Yeah.
I never found it. And then when he asked me this question, it was like in my head.
This?
Yep. And that movie right there.
Never seen it.
Yeah, it's a lot of anime film heads be like, oh, this is not a slept-on anime. Bro, people don't know about
Came
this.
out in
No.
2002.
2002.
Never heard
Has a
of it.
7.2 on IMDb.
Okay.
It's got a low rating, but
I think that's pretty good.
I'm
Listen,
I'm
bro,
telling you,
honestly,
Is it
I don't really
campy?
like to go.
Huh?
Is it
it's
campy?
cozy, but then it gets like really serious.
Okay.
It gets scales up quick. So we did that interview. Video did like 1.6 million views. People were like, oh my god, you go in the comments, be like, I went to go watch it. He was so right. After that movie came out, New York City Comic Con put the theater. Now New York City Anime NYC
Okay.
got the movie in theaters. So I'm just gonna say
You single.
I brought it back.
Look at him.
Single-handedly.
And I went to go watch it in theaters.
At
Let's
Smile
go.
Bomb
Yeah,
YT.
I bring back Dead Series.
Is that
okay?
on Crunchyroll?
I don't think it might be on
Do you know if it's on
Crunchyroll.
any
No,
stream?
You have to buy
I
it?
think you have to either buy it or yeah. But that was that's the things I've seen most recently. I mostly just like play video games. Like I don't really, and mainly it's like League of Legends right now.
What are your other 2 most played video games besides
Of
League?
this past 5 years, I would say Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You
Uh,
actually stuck with it.
Of course, just like One Piece. It's like you stuck with it.
I mean, listen,
Sometimes you got to see the vision.
well, that shit just had bugs out
Gotta
the
see
gate.
it through,
Did you
boy.
play it again?
No, I just gave up.
You got All right, see, so I'm gonna tell you right now. Get Phantom Liberty. Start back from the beginning. I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be one of your favorite gaming experiences of all time. They went and they fixed it.
Okay.
They went and fixed it. They added Phantom Liberty in, which is like honestly probably one of the best video game side stories. Period. It could have been its own video game. Like they delivered heavy on it.